Hello my beautiful people, welcome to the week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. I do need to let you know there will be no appointments this week as I am traveling. So with that said, let's get on. I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, well, I say that I should for all of us because as this is the weekly general overview. So let's have a look at the Destiny card. What is going on for all of us across the world on a personal level in our own sphere of recognition? And this week we get the Hermit card, right? So it's about withdrawal. It's about searching for the truth. This week, nobody wants to be lied to. And I got to be honest with you, because we are in between eclipses, I feel like this is going to be a week where people will either try to pull the wool over some, they'll try to pull the wool over your eyes, or they will give you information that they aren't aware is completely, wrong, right? So this is a week for you to be really, really careful. We're in between the eclipses at this moment in time. And so for me, this week really kind of represents that moment of kind of literally being in the dark. So it's really interesting that we get the Hermit card, right? And the thing about the Hermit card is, yes, he withdraws from the world, but the reason the Hermit withdraws from the world is so he can hear the voice of the High Priestess. As many of you know by now, what is the High Priestess? What does she represent? Your intuition, right? The fact that he's carrying a flame, a star in a lantern, all of that sort of stuff, means he is following the light of his own truth. So at this, I got goosebumps as I'm talking about this one, people. Right, so pay attention to your feelings, pay attention to your gut. If something doesn't feel right, the chances are it probably isn't. Listen to your intuition, still yourself enough so that you can hear your own inner voice speak. And trust it, even if it tells you something that you think, oh, that's highly improbable. We're in between eclipses, all bets are off, right? I'm not saying this to frighten you. What I'm saying to you is this week may feel like a period where it's kind of like you're unsure, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what they're saying, like that's a load of bollocks because I've done research and it doesn't come, like the truth and the facts don't tally up with what this person's telling me. You might find that, and you may find that some people at this time are feeling a bit out of character or out of sorts, so they're trying to twist the truth, and not necessarily, for some people it will be for nefarious purposes, let's be honest, right, and call a spade a spade. You guys know me by now, I do not bullshit you, I just give you it as I'm going to give you the tea, right? So the Hermit card is basically telling me that across the board this week, we are trusting our feelings, we're trusting our gut, we're going within so that we can find out what the outside, what the external is really trying to present us with, right? If someone's giving you facts, if someone's giving you bullshit, you will sniff it out this week. You will know because you can trust your innate feelings. If that looks like for you shutting the curtains and going into what I and a friend affectionately call the Cancer cave, then you know what, go into, and I say that because I'm a Cancer moon, so when I'm ready, I'll just retreat. I'm like, oh, don't look at me, leave me alone. Right, and so the Hermit card as the Destiny card really is talking about that, and it also suggests as well on the wide, so that's the microcosm, right? On the wider world stage, this week we may very well see things popping up where they're trying to, again, I said this last time, where they're trying to get a reaction out of the general public, and the general public just isn't buying it, right? The way that things are trying to go, a lot of people are like, you know what, we've done all of that, and I'm actually tired from the last time we had to deal with all of that crap. I'm not interested. With the Hermit card on a macrocosmic level, this really does suggest that this is going to be a week where we start to see things cleared up, right? Where we start to get more clarity on things, where we start to get more understanding of the things that are happening behind the scenes, right? So the High Priestess hasn't shown up as yet, but her servant, the Hermit, and when I say servant, I don't mean like, her butler. He's her servant through faithful devotion, right? Which means he goes within to find that secret source of enlightenment, find that secret source of wisdom, and ultimately that secret source of intuition. She speaks directly, right? I'm talking about this a lot because we've just had a Cancer full moon, Cancer new moon solar eclipse, right? So that feels really relevant for me to mention. And the other thing, you know, with the Hermit card, it's about the world service. So you might see that across the board again this week there'll be a lot going on in the upper echelons of power, so to speak, and it will be a really interesting week in regards to that stuff, because I kind of feel like if there is any politicians or anybody that's trying to tell us lies, I'm leaving this one face down because I haven't seen it yet, right? If there's anyone that's trying to tell us lies this week, you will find that it comes out. It's going to be instant, and I use this word sparingly nowadays because my understanding of what it means is really starting to change. Instant karma, this is a week for that. So be very, very clear about your integrity. Come from that place of true humble service, whatever that means to you, right? And it's not about being someone's butler or waiting on somebody hand and foot. It's about being of service to elevate people, to elevate yourself, the people that you love, or the mass consciousness in some way, shape or form. That's the whole process of being of service, right? So yeah, anybody that is in the public eye or in service to a country, to a town, to a state, to a group of people, to a group of delegates, whatever, will need to be in their integrity this week, because the chances are they'll get found out very, very quickly. It's an instant karma week, so remember I said that. The next card out is the Hanged Man. Right? Interesting, very, very interesting. The Hermit card represents Virgo. The Hanged Man represents Pisces. They are two sides of the same coin, right? So right over here in the direction, how does this shape up? How do we need to pay attention to this? Through your spirituality. Do not act. This is not a week for you to decide to, you know, yeah, I'm going 110%. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Take your time with everything. If you have decisions to make, take your time. If somebody's asking you to do something, or they're asking you to make a decision, take your time, right? The thing about the Hanged Man, he doesn't rush anything because he's happy in that state. And a lot of people are like, oh, you know, but he's hanging upside down from one leg. The Hanged Man represents the process of enlightenment. How you get to enlightenment. You accept the situation for all that it is, right? For the good, the bad, and the ugly. Sorry, forgive the dualisms, but I'm trying to make this as clear cut as possible so that everybody across the board can get it, right? You accept, he accepts his circumstances. This is it, that's fine. You know what? From the acceptance comes understanding. Once he understands what he's doing there, that's when he gains the wisdom. Once you've got the wisdom and you start to apply it, that's when you reach enlightenment. Enlightenment is a 4-step process as far as I'm concerned. As I've been working with the tarot over the years, that's what I've come to understand about the Hanged Man card, right? Yes, it represents Neptune as well, so it has that sort of secret, sort of shadowy side, you know, because it has links to Pisces, so it has that dual aspect to it where it can be all light and spirituality and transcendence, you know, where that you're free of the bonds. But on the other hand, it can be escapism and wanting to run away and, you know, fish into the dark corners and hide there and, you know, yeah, I'm going to sit in my little cave. Actually, that sounds like me in my Cancer cave at moments. But all jokes aside, the direction card is how we achieve the destiny, right? So your soul is asking you to go within, to trust your instincts, to trust your gut. And when I say trust your gut, interestingly enough, the Hermit card represents the sign of Virgo, right? Virgo rules the gut. So when I say trust your gut this week, I mean trust your gut. Literally listen to it. Whether it's telling you to do something or not to do something, hear it out, right? Your direction then, how you achieve the destiny, is basically through your spirituality. It's through doing nothing. It's through taking your time and accepting where you are at the moment. Don't seek to change it. Don't seek to override or, assert. You don't need to do any of that this week. Then, you know, one of the things with the Hanged Man, What's the best way to, sometimes the best way to get what you want is literally to do nothing, right? Is to hang back and do nothing. What I love about this as well, because we're in between eclipses, so we've just had the solar eclipse, we're heading towards the lunar eclipse, and here we've got earth and here we've got water, right? And we've just, you know, Capricorn is the lunar eclipse, so that's the earth coming in. We've just had the new moon in Cancer, new moon solar eclipse in Cancer, that's earth and water. Right, look at that. I mean, I couldn't, you know, you guys see me shuffle the cards. This is why I love tarot, because the mirror of what happens in the macrocosm and how it affects us down here on the microcosm, like there is links there, you know, as above, so below, as without, so within. Those things might sound like cliches, but they are real. Pay attention, right? This is what we're being asked to do, all of us across the board. Listen to your feelings. And the direction card is saying, take your time. Accept where you are at the moment. Acknowledge where you are at the moment. Because the second you do that, once you stop pushing and straining and trying to figure it out and all the rest of it, once you just let the spirit take over, once you just let your gut take over, you will find that this starts to quiet down. And trust me, I know, because I'm feeling this one at the moment. As an Aquarius, my mind is always overactive. So in times like this, it's like, you know, my partner always says to me, like, kill the hamster. I love animals, but kill the hamster, because, you know, sometimes I will go over and over thoughts and pick things apart for, you know, 2 days on end if I need to understand their pattern or their way. But in this regard, especially for this week, we're not going to have that. The mental capacity, especially under a Mercury retrograde, just isn't there. So don't rely on the things that you know are not going to be reliable at the moment. Go within, listen to your gut, take on a more spiritual aspect or understanding of life, accept the situation that you're in, don't try to assert anything to it, and you will find that life opens up for you in a magical way, because you will start to live it through the senses and through the body, as opposed to just through a conceptual idea. Do you think it's a coincidence that Instagram and Facebook and all the rest of it went down yesterday? No way. No way. The universe is really trying to give us these moments of clarity, but they're not going to come through the conscious mind. They're going to come through the inner senses, through the inner faculties. So let's have a look behind the scenes, right? What is the insight card? The 9 of Pentacles. Beautiful. Absolutely love this, right? So what's interesting to me straight away is the Hermit card is also number 9. 9 is about completions. It's about endings. We're heading towards a lunar eclipse, right? So this is where we now start to prepare. This is where we start to prepare the internal world. This is where we start to prepare all aspects of self, really, for moving and stepping forward. Now, the 9 of Pentacles is about beauty and abundance, about grace. It's about really tapping into the passion of life. It's about living life to the fullest and to the best, and having that earthly experience, whatever that might mean to you. If it's good food, if it's sex and sensuality, being close to a partner where you can feel somebody, where you can feel something, being out in nature, all of this stuff is really going to help this week. And as an insight card, the 9 of Pentacles is basically saying, where is it that you have already put a lot of your effort, a lot of your time, a lot of your skill? Where have you focused a lot of your energy? Keep an eye on those projects, especially if they're past projects, because right now you could have insights, you could have ideas, you could be having dreams about how to make that idea, that project, that thing, that personal business, whatever it is, make it better. You could be getting insight in how to make it more than it currently is, or to expand your awareness of what it is that you're doing so that you can create more from it. The 9 of Pentacles is a beautiful card, and I love this because it adds a little bit of grounding to this. It adds a little bit more of a, you know, this stuff, I'm not going to lie to you people, it's a little heavy, because it's really separating yourself from the external. It's really separating yourself from your conscious mind and saying, right, you know what, I'm going to dare to go within. I'm going to dare to listen to the inner senses. I'm going to take that moment of bravery to really understand my inner landscape. 9 of Pentacles, landscapes, right? So all of that, artists, you know, anything where you're a creator, this week will be really, really great. whatever you create, whether it's sculpture, music, art, books, writing, whether you're a public speaker. This week is going to be a great week for downloads, for inspirations, for sudden moments of sudden flashes of inspiration that come from a spiritual source. Speak to the muses, right? If you don't know what a muse is a being of creativity that inspires people. That you know, that I think there were 9 of them in total, and one of the ones that I can remember, and the only reason I remember this one is because it's my nanny's name, God bless her. One of the muses was called Calliope, or Calliope in Greek actually means good girl or good woman, right? And the muses were light beings that would inspire humanity. So if you find yourself being inspired this week, don't dismiss those ideas, even if they seem a bit out there. Tap into that inspirational energy, because it is all around you, but it's going to require you to listen with the senses and the body. Right, you're going within this week, people. It's not out there. You're not going to find anything that you need out there. Don't even trust Google this week. Trust yourself, trust your gut, trust your intuition, and still yourself. Whether that's making yourself quiet, whether it's meditating, whether it's doing Tai Chi, yoga, whether it's just deep breathing, going for a walk out in nature, putting your toes on the grass or in the sand, all of that stuff, anything that is going to still you and calm you enough. You know, see, now I'm doing it to myself, because I realize this whole video I've been very animated, and it's because this stuff is really, really intense. We'll all be feeling it this week. So bring it down. Take a moment, go within, still yourself enough, just like this guy, so that you can hear the voice of the High Priestess when she starts to speak. And the thing about, you know, when I say hear the voice of the High Priestess, as many of you know, she doesn't speak with words. She brings you images and feelings and impressions. And that's why I say you need to be still enough in yourself in order to hear that wisdom speak. So take it easy this week, right? Reach out to the muses. Be open to whatever creativity comes to you. Any projects that you've had on the back burner, now's probably the time to start looking at them again, because you'll have fresh insights and perspectives that you wouldn't have had before, right? So I hope this helps. I know it's a very long video of me ranting and raving, but I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Go be amazing. There will be many more videos to follow. Please let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you, what you feel about this video, what comes up for you. Every single one of you will have an insight, and it is so truly valid and important for all of us, and including me. So I love you, take care, and I'll see you soon.